Hello, it's Malik, your financial emancipator. So I'm really excited to do this video this morning. I'm really tremendously excited because um, I put up an episode 123 of my podcast. You can catch that on iTunes or SoundCloud, Financial Emancipation Podcast. And episode 123 was called Politics as Usual or Nah. And that podcast was about politics, um, committing and donating to financially to political campaigns when you can, and basically the idea that our finances are heavily dictated by the government and by how those who we put in leadership actually go out and make laws and do things that impact our finances. And I did that podcast on the heels of having made two donations to political campaigns. I had donated, I live in New York, but I was very interested in supporting Stacey Abrams, who is running for governor in Georgia, and I was very interested in supporting the Tallahassee mayor, Andrew Gillum, who was running for the Florida governor. I do not live in Florida or Georgia, but I really believe in the ideas that these people have for their states. I believe that there needs to be a different face of government in many places. And I believe that when you cannot support just with your vote, because the vote for people who live in that state or who can support via voting. I thought that it was really important to put resources behind these people who I truly believe will change the face of government in Georgia, in Florida, and be a light for those who want to change the face of government all over this country and push back against what we're seeing. So I did that. Though, Stacey Abrams had already secured the nomination by the time I gave the donation, so I was donating to her general election campaign. But Andrew Gillum was polling third or fourth among the Democrats in the primary. He was a long shot to some people, but when I did my research and followed him and followed people around him, the ideas and things that he has for Florida are really great and things that I support. So I decided to make a donation. And I made a donation knowing that he could very well not win. And it could be like, but I wanted to support the candidacy. Well, last night he came through like hurricanes do in Florida, and he won the Democratic primary for governor of Florida. And so he will be going up against a Republican for governor in Florida. He is the first black person to be nominated by either party to be governor in Florida. And if he were to be elected for governor of Florida, he'd be the first black governor in Florida's history. Okay, he'd be the first Democratic governor in 24 years in Florida. And Florida needs some changing. Keep in mind, Florida is Trayvon Martin. Florida is a lot of really bad things that have happened to people based on some really antiquated and terrible laws. And really, I saw him on the news this morning mentioning that Florida is 45th in education as far as the entire 50 states, and Florida is like the third largest state in the union. So certain things are unacceptable, and you need different voices and different things to change that. And sometimes when you can't be down there canvassing, you can't be there knocking on doors and making calls, some of the things you can do is donate to a campaign. And it is really important that we, as people who want to see a change, are willing to put in effort. So if you don't have the financial resources to do it, go ahead and go out and volunteer, knock on doors, make phone calls. If you live in Georgia, and I know a lot of you do, because everybody who don't live in New York live in Atlanta. And Georgia, you guys need to come through for Stacey Abrams. You need to come through because it's about you more than it's about me. I don't live in Georgia, and I don't live in Florida. I got my own problems up here in New York, but I need you guys who live in Georgia, the guys who live in Atlanta, come through. Don't just think, oh, Atlanta proper is going to do what they want to do and no one's going to win. Don't believe that. Stacey Abrams has a real chance of winning in Georgia, and she will do so with the help of people in Atlanta and outside of Atlanta. So be out there, help, volunteer, donate your time, donate your money. If you want to see change and you want to see a different face, you can't relax back like what happened in 2016 and expect that the person you want to win is going to win, because that doesn't always happen, as we can see. And the consequences when those people don't win, and particularly now, the people who they're putting against these progressive people are are Donald Trump's minions, and you don't want that. So if you don't want that and you want to see change, you have to do one of three things. You have to vote, that's a given. But you have to either donate You have to donate something. You got to donate some money. You got to donate some time, and you got to donate some phone calls, some effort, some canvassing, some knocking on some doors. You got to do it, because the change that you want to see, it starts with you, and it starts with us. And if we want to see more people who look like us reflected in, and who have ideas like we have ideas reflected, then we have to put in the work. And I want y'all all to remember, Barack Obama was a long shot. I remember clearly when I had finished reading up on him and the rumblings was coming about he was going to run for election. I remember being in the hair salon, a full-on black hair salon, walking up in there with my 2 books. I'm saying, this is the guy. This is before he even announced that he was going to run for president. I said, you know, this is the guy. This is who we need. And everybody's like, no, 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 Hillary, Hillary, Hillary. And I said, no, no, everybody, this is who we need. Long beginning supporter, because I knew he was on the right path, and I knew he was a long shot. But long shots sometimes come through, and that long shot, Barack Obama long shot, came through not only to win the primary, to win the election, and then to win re-election. That's what that long shot did. And Andrew Gillum was just a week ago, he was polling 3rd and 4th, and last night he won the primary. And they're saying to you he's a long shot for Florida. Don't believe that. Don't believe that, because when people knock on doors and they talk to people individually and they get down to the real thing, not this whole thing that everybody's talking about on the news media, when you get down to, do you want your kids' schools to be better? Do you want better jobs? Do you want a better salary? Do you want these things? That's what matters to people. So support, 1 of 3 things. We talked about it. You got to vote. That's got to happen. But you also have to, donate your, if you have money, donate your money. If you can't, donate your time. If you have time, donate your time. And you can donate your time in many ways. You can canvass neighborhoods, you can make phone calls, you can donate anything that you have. You can encourage your businesses, you can encourage people to donate. And as a family, as a group, if you're part of a sorority, if you're part of any fraternity, if you're part of anything in Georgia, get out there for Stacey Abrams. If you're in Florida, get out there for Andrew Gillum. We need to see faces like this and encourage more young progressive people to run for office, because when they see faces like that, Barack Obama opened the door. So now we need to keep letting everybody walk on through who has the skills and is ready to lead. And it's on us, because politics as usual is over. The game has changed, and we got to play the game differently. So make sure you're out there supporting one way or the other. And don't think just because it's not your state. Like I said, I live in New York, but I am advocating and supporting those who are making change around this country, because I want to be able to visit Georgia and be pleased, and I want to be able to visit Florida and be happy. So guess what? I'm supporting candidates for governor in that state. So please go out, do what you can. And if you live in those states, this should be your mission from now into November. We got 70-something days. Let's get it done. Thank you so much for listening today. I know this is not a political podcast, and I get on my political rant, get in my little political bag, because I was a political science major and really love government. I work in government. I love it, and I believe in it. Even when it's crappy and shitty, I believe in it. And so right now, we want to change that face. We got to get to work. Thanks, guys, for listening. Have a great day.